Welcome to this special meeting of Council. We now have apologies for absence. Jennifer.
Lord Mayor, I have apologies from Councillors Twice, Giovanni Barbini, Hollingsworth, Humberston, Gill and Garden. I don't know if there are any other apologies that have been presented yet.
And Turner, thank you. I've been asked to say a quick few words about the people that we're honouring today, and so I would like to kick off by saying that the people that we are honouring today have probably over 80 years of public service between them. Staying in the same job for this length of time is very much the exception rather than the rule these days. In times gone by, staying in the same job too long could lead to an occupational disease. And whilst we are familiar with the likes of housemaid's knee and farmer's lung, things like that, there are some more obscure ailments, such as cobbler's femur and hairdresser's nail out there. Former Councillor Jim Campbell was surprised when I told him he was suffering from Prussian cavalryman's thigh, with the ectopic bone he had growing in the muscles of his leg. Now, as far as I'm aware, there are no occupational diseases of councillors, though perhaps the loss of fingertips due to, should we say, canine predation, as you slide leaflets gently through letterboxes, might come close. However, there is a historical condition known as the alderman's reflex. And although I think it unlikely any of those we honour tonight are likely to suffer from it, they should perhaps be aware that the alderman's reflex is the ability to regurgitate food and drink in order that more can be taken on board. But let me say a quick few words about our candidates. Bob Price has been a councillor on this council for 35 years, I believe it is. He is someone who, should we say, does not suffer fools gladly and does not spare his opponents the cutting honesty of his views. I had thought Bob, in his retirement, freed from the constraints of the Nolan Principles and immune to the sanctions of the Standards Board, would revert to some perhaps municipal version of Father Jack, cussing his detractors in the most foul terms. This has not happened. The weight of office lifted from his shoulders has clearly mellowed him, and he is already busy on several other projects, serving on boards and committees throughout the city and beyond. An asset to them all, the organisations which he is now associated. And I wish him well with his, should we say, semi-retirement. Sadly, Jean Fooks cannot join us today due to serious ill health, and I hope as council we can send her our best wishes for a speedy recovery. Instead, we welcome former Councillor Stephen Brown back today, reprising his role as Jean's bagman. One last time. Stephen, it's lovely to have the acceptable face of liberal democracy back in the chamber here today. Welcome. And finally to Gill. Well, what can I say about Gill? Possibly nothing. I'm awfully sorry, Gill, but I think we might have to move straight to the vote here. 1 minute. Oh, right, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Good. Gill has been a fantastic councillor over the years, and in my experience, one of the, should we say, least loquacious members of the committees on which we have both sat. But all the better for that, actually, because when she speaks, people listen. Her sagacity and her calming and emollient words have brought many heated and unfocused meetings back to reality, and because of her interventions, better decisions have been made as a result. Gill, we thank you for your service. Fellow members, I would now like to propose that we elect Bob Price as an Honorary Alderman. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you. Can I see all those in favour? Please show. Unanimous, thank you, Jennifer. I would now like to propose we elect Jean Fooks as an Honorary Alderwoman. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you. Can I see all those in favour? Please show. Lovely. And finally, I now propose we elect Gill Saunders as an Honorary Alderman. Can I have a Alderwoman? Sorry, my apologies. My apologies. Can I have a seconder? Yes, Lord. Thank you. All those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. I will now move down to the front and we will present some scripts and congratulations.
Very much, comrades. It's a great privilege and very humbling to have this honour bestowed upon me. But I think at this particular moment, my father and grandfather are both sitting in their graves, because in reference to what Colin was saying earlier about Alderman's reflux, they were both council officers for many years under the Aldermanic system. And a number of times they'd come home and swear about these rather rotund gentlemen who had stopped something going through because they wanted to ignore it. So the overlap with the local Masonic society was rather remarkable. Fortunately, those days have gone past by the time I was in 1983. But what hadn't gone past was the destructive nature of Thatcher's policy. And I stood, first of all, really to be part of that campaign. And it's ironic that we're now on the same kind of grip of having to fight back against Tory policies, despite the intervening 35 years. But I believe then, and I believe more strongly now, that we, as a local council, can do huge amounts to protect people against the ways in which national government impact upon our citizens and our society. And it's been a great pleasure for me to work over those 35 years with fellow councillors, usually on a cross-party basis, to really fight back against the way in which they affected the poverty and social deprivation which disfigured our city. A week is a long time in politics, as Harold Wilson once remarked, so 35 years is like a lifetime, in my case half a lifetime. And there's lots of things happened in that time, and I thought I'd just pick out four particularly give me personal pleasure. The first one was the development of that Leeds, or Greater Leeds extension, back in the 80s and 90s. And Jo, my wife, was the secretary of that group for a long time. And to see the estate now in its state form is a great pleasure. Over 1,000 social homes produced for the people of the city. Secondly, setting up low carbon Oxford, which I think is a great initiative to actually get the whole issue of climate change, which is fundamental for our society going forward, on the agenda of the city, and really making progress on that over the last 10 years. The decision to welcome the Syrian refugees as part of the UNHCR programme, the huge outpouring of common commitment by the people of the city, and our ability to actually cope with far more disproportionate numbers of families than we were expected to by the government. I think that was a tremendous aspect of our work. And then finally, more broadly in a way, but very importantly, the negotiation of the Oxfordshire Growth Deal and the impact that's having long-term on the capacity of the county to meet our housing and highways requirements. And of course, the sub-regional planning policy goes with it. I could go on and on and on, but there is one other councillor affliction, which is that of prolixity, and given that both Jill and I are Welsh, it was all a challenge to stick to 2 minutes. But let me just finish by thanking you all for this great honour and wishing you well in the continuing battle against the iniquities of this government, the dreadful prospects of Brexit, and the dreadful prospects of climate change. Thank you very much.
Steve, can I invite you up to represent Jean? Get your hair back. Yes, we can have some photos of the parlour later.
Thank you very much, Lord Mayor, and all of you around here, for allowing me to represent Gill this evening. I do understand about being a bad carrier. It's not the first time I've been called that, but I like to think that on occasions when I was in this chamber, I did at least do things sometimes independently of Gill, more often than not actually. Anyway, what I wanted to share with you, and I will pay a fairly straight back now, is it was only literally a few weeks ago, that Jean and I were very excitedly talking about her visit back up to Oxford with her daughter, to see new old friends again, to return to the city that she loved, but equally being excited about the new life that she has created down in Exmoor, an area of the country that she absolutely adores, loves. Most years she tended to go back there. She has a bungalow down there, and I won't go into great detail about all the things she's getting up to nowadays, but I can assure you that she was involved in lots of local activities, not political I might add. She's putting an end to that and taking the opportunity of doing some of the things that maybe she hasn't been able to do in the past. All I can say is that she is desperately sad that she can't be here today. It's been mentioned earlier, I think most of you know, that she's just returned home from a short spell in hospital. She's at home, and quite simply she isn't. Even Jean wasn't able to come up here today. But I know that I'm going to be seeing her tomorrow. I'm going to go down to Somerset with these marvellous things, and I'll be telling her all about this occasion. And I know she's going to be very excited about that. What I will say is, and she did ask me to say a few words sort of on her behalf, and as I often try to do is I try to put my own spin on it, and to suggest that one of the things that inspired her for all those years that she was on here, this council here, but also on the county council, was the fact that she had that incredible sense of responsibility and privilege of being an elected representative. She took it incredibly seriously, and indeed, as we all know. And indeed, I think it was that seriousness that she had that, and the knowledge of all the people within her community, whichever ones she happened to be representing. She knew an incredible number of people when she was in Oxford, and by she knowing so many of them personally, and they having the confidence in her to support them and help support them in the way that all of you around here are doing in your own different ways. That then, certainly from my perspective, always allowed her the most enviable position of always managing to get re-elected, elected, always having massive majorities, massive support, and indeed creating, in a sense, her own little fortress wherever she was, which in a sense sums up Jean's sort of character and her determination to serve. I think the peak of her serving occurred last year, Lord Mayor, when she was in your shoes. It was her final year as a councillor. She was very, very proud to be Lord Mayor, and from a personal perspective, it was a fantastic way of anyone ending a distinguished and long-serving career on any sort of council. And she was particularly honoured and pleased by that. And this particular honour is sort of further icing on the cake. One final thing is she did specifically ask me that since she's moved down to Somerset, quite a number of people, particularly recently, have been in contact with her with good wishes and the occasional gift and things depending on what they're passing through. And she really did want to make sure that everyone's aware that she really does appreciate all of those things. As I say, I'll be seeing her tomorrow, taking those with her, and I know she's going to be very, very humbled when she receives your good greetings and good wishes. And indeed, I will pass on your good wishes to her about wishing her best of health and her speedy recovery, as I know we all do. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Gill. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Did you want to photograph with us today? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, I think I'm the only one who's been good enough to stick to the 2 minutes that I was instructed to do. So I could have gone on for 20 minutes, and I know you would have all fallen asleep. But I have had strict instructions, and I must make this short. I first got elected to the City Council in 1990, not 1992, as was in the Oxford Mail all the time. I was a paper candidate, but worked hard in the ward, and I was already known because of all the work that I've done with various groups in the community. And at the count, a comrade told me that I'd won. And in those days, the count took place in the ward. And I was shocked. And I asked John, my husband, what should I do? And he said, you have to make an acceptance speech. And I said, what do I say? And he told me that the main thing was to thank the police officer who was on duty. So I did. In my speech, I said something like, this is a turning point for Labour, and it indicates a Labour victory nationally in the near future, or whatever. It did take another 7 years, but I'm sure that I was part of ensuring that victory. Having read the recent press release that went out, that Lizzie sent out, I suddenly realised what posts I had held as a city councillor that I'd forgotten about, and I thought about all of them and what I and colleagues have managed to achieve over the years. The most important thing is that we all, no matter what party we represent, all work together to achieve the best results and outcomes for the residents of this Oxford city. And I'd like to say thank you to all the councillors that I've worked with over the 26 years that I represented this wonderful city. But I'd also like to thank the officers who made my role so much easier than it could have been. Many of them have now retired. And I have to thank John, my husband, for being the rock who's supported me for so many years. But also, I would like to pay thanks to Councillor John Tanner, who I've worked with for so many years. His hard work and support has been really invaluable. He is, I think, one of the most hard-working councillors, enthusiastic, etc., that I've ever had the pleasure of working with. And thank you, John. I'm truly honoured by receiving this award today, and I'd like to say that I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you all over so many years. Keep working together for the good of this city, no matter what party you represent. That's the main thing. Good work in the city is what you should all be trying to achieve. Thank you very much. Thank you, colleagues.
Susan, I believe you have some closing remarks.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. It's my very great pleasure to have the opportunity to make closing remarks in this very special council meeting. At the beginning, I think Colin suggested that you had just over 80 years of service between you. By my calculation, particularly the extra 2 that Gill's just added, is probably nearer 90. So it's a certainly very impressive number. I think all 3 of you were serving on the City Council, and I was first elected as a fresh-faced councillor some quite a long time ago, in 1994, as a 24-year-old. I think, Gill, you were chairing the Highways and Traffic Committee at the time. Jean was on the opposition benches, and I believe, Bob, you might be chairing the Finance Committee. You were all, in your different roles, playing very important roles on the City Council at the time. I'm very sorry that Jean's not able to be here today. We all wish her a speedy recovery and the very best of health for the future. Stephen, you're obviously a very worthy replacement, and we're very pleased to have you here today. Jean was often a thorn in the sides of those of us on these benches. I think potentially sometimes on your benches too, but she was always a greatness. Her dedication to public service over many years in city and county councils is known to all of us and deserves recognition today. There were 2 achievements that particularly stand out for me. One is my recollection, and I hope this is a correct recollection, that she was one of the very few sheriffs to actually do the roundup on horseback. There's a challenge for future sheriffs. The second and more important one is the work that she did in terms of rubbish collection in the city, where she moved the city towards having a fortnightly rubbish collection, a move that was unpopular and a very difficult one to deliver on politically, but it was absolutely the right thing to do. And she was determined throughout that process, and I think that we should all pay tribute to her over that, because it was absolutely the right thing to do. I'm just going to come on to you next, Gill. I know you haven't quite retired from public life yet, so I think you may have some kind of role in another place. Something about chairing something like the county council. Having done all the civic roles in Oxford, I see you had to move on to another place in order to find another one to take on. So Gill's role in the council has, as the Lord Mayor quite rightly put it, often been to give sage advice. And nowhere was this needed more than in the delivery of the Oxford transport strategy. Over many years of the jolly old OTS working party and highways and traffic, your role in making sure that the city was properly pedestrianised and city centre and had functioning bus lanes and cycle lanes and so on, not to mention the challenges of bus wars, was a very important one, and your diplomatic skills were certainly well used. And then Bob. So what can any of us say about Bob that has not already been said? Really, 35 years is an extraordinary period of public service. Following in Bob's footsteps has been a daunting but lovely experience, in that he's so well known in Oxford, in so many different causes, and so very well regarded. Bob, you spoke about some of the things that you're particularly proud of having delivered in the city, and I wholeheartedly concur with your assessment of that. But I think you've left us another legacy as well, which we are all extremely grateful for, and that's your vision for the future of our city. So the 2050 vision for Oxford is something that's been truly inspirational for us on these benches and I think across the council. Your vision of the city with opportunities for all, economically thriving, but also having a really strong cultural offer for both all of our citizens, but visitors as well, is one that we can and will continue to try and deliver, even if it is sometimes, as you quite rightly point out, in the teeth of a destructive government and their policies, particularly in terms of Brexit. And I note that you continued in the vein of never being shy of putting the political blame where it's absolutely deserved, so thank you for that. I think that I just wanted to reflect that I'm pretty sure we had a conversation once about one of your earlier political campaigns, which was one of the ones that encompassed one of my favourite all-time political slogans, which was rectify the anomaly. Yes. I believe that you and the future General Secretary of the Labour Party, David Treesman, were both active in that particular campaign, which, by the way, was to get polytechnic lecturers equal pay as university lecturers. So that was the anomaly that needs to be rectified. So always fighting for equal pay and equal rights. So I think the campaign slogans have moved on a little, thankfully. So thank you all very much indeed for your fantastic service to the city. From all of us, all three of you, our hearty congratulations, thanks, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of the evening. In order to do that, please don't feel you have to stay for full council. So we want you to enjoy yourselves, so thank you very much indeed.
I would now like to formally close this meeting and invite our civic guests to the parlour.